everyone. Happy Sunday. We are so happy to be back with you guys. We took a couple days off to kind of regroup and update a few things like our website and some other things that we're doing. But we're happy to be back with you guys. So say hi, John.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here tonight.
He's just all work and no play.
Yeah.
What can I tell you?
I'm trying to pin this freaking comment.
So how are you guys? Did you enjoy Halloween? I mean, I don't know. You know, we were out of town for Halloween, so I didn't get to put all my scary things up. I've got all these things hanging from my trees. You click the little button, it terrifies everybody. I wasn't even here for it. So, I don't know.
All right, let's talk about our topic tonight. How about that? Let's get to business here. Trauma bonding. So it's such a difficult thing to admit and to deal with and
Yep.
to live through and to recover from.
And to break away from.
Break free from, right?
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
So
gosh.
We're so glad you're here tonight. Please enter any comments into the chat. If you're dealing with trauma bonding, if you're struggling with trauma bonding, any of those types of things, please let us know. We're here to help. And let's kind of focus on that tonight if we can.
Well, and I know John didn't experience trauma bonding, and I did not experience it to the extreme that some of our clients do, but I did to the point where I fell for the over-the-top gifts and affection and everything that he did after he did something really, really bad. And so I struggled with the fact, did he really mean to do this horrific thing, or was that was he going through some scenario or whatever? Because it would follow up with something so romantic and dramatic that I really struggled to blame him for the bad situations that led up to this act of kindness or gifts or acknowledgement or just recognizing me. So it was a really hard battle for me to finally say, you know what, this kindness comes with a lot of bad situations that I'm supposed to have to put up with in order to get this kindness. And that's where people they struggle, because a lot of times the trauma bonding, the over-the-top affection, love, intimacy is so intense, and it goes on for a while before the abuse starts. So when the abuse starts, it's very calculated on the abuser's side. But when the abuse starts, the victim immediately discards it as a once-off, that they didn't mean it. They're going through a bad scenario. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Why? And then all of a sudden, it follows up with another act of kindness. So then we're like, oh, thank goodness. And then abuse, and it gets worse and worse, and then the act of kindness. So it is such a vicious cycle to have to try to decipher.
Yeah, Bella Outdoors has commented a couple of things here. I think it says, I wake up every day and I have to realize that I've moved on and I've had to move to another state, which is great. But also, I still feel need to stalk her on Facebook to find out. So, you know, what I'm saying is the most important thing you can do right now is just be no contact. It's critical for you right now not to stalk her. I know you hopefully don't. You say you feel the need to, but it's not important what they're doing. So you have to try to convince yourself that it's not important. You don't need to stalk them on Facebook. In fact, you know, that's going to be a way to draw you back. So you don't want to find out what they're doing, because a lot of the things that they're talking about on Facebook could be lies and new relationships or new things in their lives that's going on that you really don't need to be aware of.
Well, and it, like John said, it'll bring you back. It'll stunt your healing. And it's so difficult for us not to do that. It's so difficult because we are miserable. We are heartbroken. We are hurt. We are, literally trying to breathe. And all of a sudden, if you stumble upon their Facebook page or their Instagram or whatever, and you see them supposedly happy, it is a stab in the heart. Don't put yourself through that, because a narcissist cannot be happy with someone. It's not true happiness. It's not true love. They are not capable of it. They never, ever, ever will be capable of it, no matter what, no matter how long that victim hangs on. But you seeing it, all it does is bring back this horrible feeling you have is, did I leave too early? Did I make a mistake? Did I not stick it out long enough? You stuck it out too long. The only mistake you made was not leaving earlier. The only mistake I made was not leaving earlier and subjecting myself to more abuse. But seeing the fake situation that's going on is just going to hurt you. It's not hurting them. I mean, they've moved on. They're actually doing it on purpose, because they know that you're following them. They know that unless you're blocked, they know you're seeing every single thing they post. So they're doing this to rub salt in that wound. Don't let them do it. It's better for you to block that out. So the only thing you have to focus on is your own healing, and that's you, yourself, your healing, your life, your freedom. They don't matter anymore. They don't. They are somebody else's horrific problem, sadly. But you watching it is just, I mean, it's torture, and there's no reason for you to put yourself through that, because it just it hinders your recovery and your healing. Did you want to say something?
No, we've got so many great questions coming up, comments. Maria is here joining us. Maria. I'm glad. Great.
Hello.
Glad. Yeah.
I always wait. I don't know whether John's like saying...
Yeah, I'm just reading all these great comments. There's so many people that have had...
and she's blocked me. Thank God.
Yeah,
thank God. Block her. So, because I promise you, you're going to like scroll and all of a sudden you're going to realize that you're not blocked. And then and it's going to be on purpose. All of this stuff is going to be in your face, and it's just going to drag down all of the healing that you've done. And it's so hard anyway. Making these little baby steps are so difficult. So I can promise you right now, if you don't block her, she's going to unblock you at some point in time, and all of this stuff is just going to pour right into your face. And you don't want it. I mean, it's like drinking poison, and that's not what you want. You don't want all that toxic crap in your body again. You just got rid of it. So you have to block them. And like I've said, I know so many times, put them in a vault, lock it, throw them over in the ocean, and then throw the key behind it. You're never going to find that key, so you're never going to be able to let them out of the vault. You don't care. I mean, they're in the vault, thank God. But letting them out of the vault, it's like a demon. It's like letting Pandora out of the box, and that's not what you want.
Lori says she's in the process of healing, and several people are working on healing, which is so important. The healing process, learning those 5 steps of recovery that we talk about all the time. You know, and focus on your mental and physical and financial and spiritual well-being. It's a 5-step process that we always talk about. And it's really, really important to do those every single day, because it will help you heal faster and get your strength back. The meditation and journaling that Melissa and I always talk about. Getting a part of the support group. Our Facebook group is a great place where you can be private and anonymous and really get some great support. That physical activity that you need to be involved in every day, no matter what it is for you. Getting your spirituality back, your passion back in your life, and also focusing on financial recovery too, because a lot of us were hurt during this trauma bonding financially. That's a big part of abuse. So that's a 5-step process. If you need more information about that, we've got a great YouTube video on our YouTube channel, Victim to Warrior. It's called I'm so sorry, guys. We've been away. It's called Breaking Free. 5 tactics to building your strength and self-esteem back. So check that out, please. It's about 16 minutes, but it really covers those daily steps to help you in this recovery process, because it's like any other type of abuse. You have to recover. And so Melissa and I both have recovered and really built this 5-step process that's easy to follow and something that you can do every single day to help you in your process. So please check that out.
There was a question earlier, and I may have missed the person's name. Can a narcissist harm me if I block them? Well, I need to know more about your situation. When you say harm you, are you concerned about your safety? I mean, are you concerned that they're tracking you? They know where you are? I mean, blocking them, all of a sudden they won't see anything of yours. They won't know that if you took it down or they're blocked. It just will become invisible to them. They won't be able to find it. They won't be able to search for it. Any of the friends that are on their page won't be able to find you. So blocking them removes them from knowing what you're doing, and it removes them from you knowing what they're doing, which is the best thing, because you need to focus on your own healing. You don't need them clouding your judgment or your mind or your feelings, your emotions. You're having enough struggles as it is just to try to hone all that in. So as far as harming you, that's a personal situation. I mean, if you are afraid, then you need to call the authorities, because your safety is a priority, obviously, always. But just blocking them, it doesn't like all of a sudden say, oh, you're blocked. It just, they can't find you. It's like your page is invisible and they just don't know if you took it down. I took my page down. I literally was so afraid he was going to find me and he was going to be able to use things against me. I deleted my page. Or paused it, whatever that's called. And I did it because I didn't want him to know what I was doing, but I also didn't know that he was tracking me. He was tracking me on my phone. He was tracking me on my car. All of those things I found out later on. So you do have to check those things out. You got to bring your phone into your carrier. Is there a tracking app on your phone? Bring your car into a dealership or a repair shop. Have them scan for a tracking device. All of these things, if you're definitely trying to stay away from that narcissistic person, you don't want them tracking you. But as far as blocking them, it's not like a blatant message. They just won't be able to find you.
Yeah, and let's continue on with this person. It's Atati, I think is her name. I'm not quite sure. It says, I'm concerned about my safety, and that's really, really important.
Yep.
If you're concerned about your safety, it's really important that you get law enforcement involved. This is critical. And get a temporary restraining order if you can, because it's better to be safe than sorry, because, people, if they tend to be violent and you're concerned about your safety, there's a good reason for that. There's a historical reason for that. You've endured things, and it's escalating, especially if you're considering leaving or planning to leave. So it's important that you get law enforcement involved at this point. I really think that's a good for her to do.
Definitely. And letting your support network know. I mean, yeah. I know a lot of us, we didn't tell anyone. We were ashamed. We were scared. We were embarrassed. And I know, as far as I was concerned, is if I told people everything he did, then I would have to act on it. It would literally, it would call my hand. And I was worried that if I told people how bad he was, if I went back, then they would absolutely look really harshly upon me. So I basically was sheltering myself from people's opinion in case I wanted to go back. You know what that did? It gave me the crack in the door to go back, and I did. And it was the worst freaking mistake of my life. I wish I had told people. I wish I had accountability partners. But when you are holding all this in and you don't want to tell people about it, you've got to think about why. If you're afraid, you need to tell people about it, because you need people watching your back. You need people that are going to take care of you and support you and protect you, and that includes law enforcement. If you're holding back because you want that glimpse of a possible reconciliation, and you know how bad things are, but if you tell somebody how bad things are, they're gonna judge you. They will. They're gonna judge you if you go back. And that's why a lot of us don't say anything, because we are not sure of ourselves. We're not certain that we don't want to go back. And honestly, that is a mistake. When you tell, it's just like working out. If you have an accountability partner, you're gonna show up at the gym because they're gonna give you shit if you don't show up at the gym. If you don't have an accountability partner, when you're too tired, you drank too much the night before, you just don't feel like it, you're not going to go. You won't go. So having accountability partners, which are people who love you and support you and are there for you, this is crucial when you're going through this. Because if you are on the ledge you need to call that person and say, I'm on the ledge. I'm going to call him. I'm going to unblock him. I'm going to look at his Facebook page, and they're going to talk you off the ledge. And if you don't have anyone, then you need to join our Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group called the Victim to Warrior Method. You're not going to be able to find it because it's private and anonymous. But if you go to our TikTok page, right under our photo, on our link tree, if you click it, it'll give you an option of joining our private Facebook group. You can say anything to us there. Anything. We vet everybody that comes into that Facebook group. We've got over 300 members. It is a close-knit community, and it's like-minded people that have been through, are going through, or are on the other side of what you've been going through. And they will talk you off the ledge. I will talk you off the ledge. John will talk you off the ledge, because that is a private
Let's tell
group.
people how to get there. In fact, you know, Lori is saying I left the door cracked too many times. She actually married her ex-narc twice. So, yeah, so she fell for it twice.
And that
happens. It happens.
It happens. And that's how strong that bond is. That trauma bond, we latch on to the good things, because there are good things. We can't deny that. There are good things. But the good things come with this anchor of bad things, of horrific things, of damaging things. And that's why we have to make a decision that this is not good for us, because the toxic part of the relationship outweighs the small amount of good and happy and what we think is happy times, because those times we think are happy are with a fake person, because the person we fell in love with doesn't even exist. They were never real. So
let's tell people how to join our Facebook group, babe, and to get help if they need it from our great support, great members.
And everybody jumps in. Everybody jumps in. And like I said, it doesn't matter what time of night it is. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. Somebody is going to jump in, and they're going to talk you off that ledge. If you go to our main TikTok page, right under our photo is our link tree. Click on our link tree, and it'll bring up all of our resources. On the resources is our private Facebook page. It'll say join private Facebook. Click it and answer the questions, and then we will admit you into that group. And like I said, you can say anything. You can just vent. You can relapse, and we will give you, we'll throw you the rope and drag you back out of that hole. We've had people that have relapsed multiple times and have literally drugged themselves out. And there are people in there that I am so freaking proud of and have so much courage. I had one lady that I just adore in our Facebook group, and she was feeling so horrible about herself. She went back numerous times. It had been years and years and years. And she finally, she's away from him, and she's blocked him. And she got dressed up. She put on her makeup. She put on a cute outfit. She didn't know where the hell she was going. She walked out of her front door, and she said, you know what? I am not going to be a prisoner anymore. I am not going to be anchored in silence and isolation when he doesn't care. And she went out, and she went to lunch by herself, and ended up meeting this wonderful couple who just absolutely adored her. And she felt so good about herself when it was over. I tell you, I was so proud of her. I really was. And that was a hard thing to do.
Hey, I want to answer this for Crystal. Crystal Marie, that's what I'm afraid of. I've been gone for 3 months, and I don't feel happy, but I'm free. Look, freedom is happiness, okay? You will get happy again. You will be happy again. You just have to recover. You're just out of recovery. I mean, you've just started your recovery process. It's only been 3 months. So you have, almost like withdrawals it's part of it. But if you start working on your recovery, Crystal, those 5 steps that we talk about, if you'll just do those every single day, start meditating and journaling so you can write things down, get them out of your head, and join the support group, whether it's in person or whether it's on Facebook, our Facebook group. Start doing something physical every day. If it's just walking around the block, just do something every day. And focus on finding your passion. What made you happy before you met your narc? What was it that made you happy? Did you love to sing and dance or paint like Melissa did or does? I mean, what makes you happy? Get back to those roots that made you happy and find that happiness again. You have to work on it, but it'll get there.
Oh, in our Facebook group, you can't find it. You have to join through the link. So go to our TikTok channel right under our photo. is our link tree. Click it and then scroll down and you'll see join private Facebook group. You can't find that group by searching for it. It is private. It is anonymous. You can join as group member. You can join as anonymous member. It's completely up to you, but we protect our members. And I've only had to remove 2 people, and it wasn't even because I was worried that they were narcs. It's just their views didn't fall in line with the rest of the community. So we are very, very particular about who joins our group. But that's where you find it, and just click on it and answer the membership questions, and then we will admit you. So, and it's literally a lifeline. It is a group of friends that have been through what you're going through. They're either in it or just out of it, or they're on their road to recovery. And there's something that you might want to do is take our free masterclass. That's also in the link tree. If you go to the link tree, it says free masterclass. This is a recovery course that basically lets you reclaim your independence, and it allows you to rebuild your life foundation. Because when you think about it, a foundation is everything. That's what holds everything up. And when you have cracks in your foundation, everything just crumbles. And when you are an abused person, when you are a victim of this type of narcissistic abuse, trauma bonding, things like that, your foundation is cracked and it's weak and it's crumbling. Rebuilding it, reinforcing it is exactly what you need. That will get you back to the person you were. They chose, because they chose you for a reason. And it was because of your strength, your spark, your light. It could be because of your money. It could be because of your looks. It could be because of your confidence or your influence. But they chose you for a reason. You were not a loser.
Hey, I want to say something. Tammy Arnett, 192. Today, November 5th, would have been my 41st anniversary. Wow. And I have been free for 9 years. Praise.
Oh, gosh.
That's what this... I just love hearing that. Thank you for sharing that with us, Tammy. And I know she's probably very, very happy. She's got 2 exclamation points behind she's been free for 9 years. So happiness is... And
free is... You think that we are allowed to be free. I mean, that's part of our rights, to be free. But when you're with a narcissist who controls everything, you are stripped of your freedom. They will take every bit of your freedom away and control you to where you feel like you have no freedom, like you have no money, you can't make your own decisions, you can't leave when you want to leave. I mean, the little things that... Or financial control, too. Total financial control. The things that we take for granted, like... hey, I want to go get my nails done. I'm going to go get... Hey, babe, I told John, babe, I'm going to go get my nails done. He's okay. Tell the girls I said hi. When I was with my abuser, that was not a luxury that I could do. I couldn't just say that and just go. And it's sad because that is a common luxury, a common freedom that you should have, that you shouldn't have to ask for permission, beg for permission, make an excuse as to why you wanted to do it. That is just a little bit of freedom and a little bit of luxury that you deserve, that you shouldn't have to feel bad about. And you shouldn't have to go, man, it's been so long since I've done that. It's been so long since I've been able to just say, write a note on the counter and say, hey, it's whatever, 12:15. I went to the grocery store, or I went to meet my friends, or I went to have brunch, or have that conversation. Hey, my friends want to, come over for dinner Friday night. Do you care? We're going to have a girls' wine night. John's like, hell yeah. Tell me when they're here and I'm leaving because I don't want to hear you gossiping. And he goes down the street and talks to his own guys. So those are the luxuries and the freedom that you've missed out on, that we missed out on, and it's not fair. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, would you please like this live? We're really trying to get the algorithms working in our favor so we can get this awareness out to more people. So please, if you haven't yet, double click the screen and like this. And if you would, please forward it out there too, because we want, again, to spread this awareness. We have so many resources that we've built specifically. Oh, thank you so much. I think that's Jason. Oh, it's Jason Lee, our old. We haven't seen you in a while, but thank you for the rose. So grateful to you all. But we've got some great resources. Our free masterclass is really built to help you with recovery.
and learning those things that you need to do. And we have all sorts of other resources too. If you're really struggling and you're stuck, or you're dealing with financial abuse, different things like that, you can set up a one-on-one call with us. We can help walk you through certain things. We also, if you'll see the bottom of your screen there, is our financial series, which can really help you if you're suffering from financial abuse as well. So please take advantage of these resources. We've spent a lot of time building these over the past year. And if you haven't yet, check out our brand new website. We just went live on Friday. We had a bunch of changes made. It's thev2w.com, and we'd love for you to check that out as well and sign up for our newsletter when you're there. It only goes out once a week, but it's chock full of great information for you.
Maria, I am so glad you've joined us. I don't know if I've seen you on TikTok before. I know I see you on Instagram all the time, but that fog will lift. You know it. I promise you it will. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is. And you have been really strong, girl. You have been really, really strong. And you have done some courageous things. And you've had balls. I mean, you have. You have gone out there and you have stood up to him, and I'm really, really proud of you. I will say that. There is a Josie. I think her name is Josie. You're trying to leave, you said. I want to send you the 12 critical steps that you need to do when you're trying to leave. This is going to prepare you for leaving. So if you DM us, I will send that to you. You can DM us. You can go to our website, which is www.thev2w.com, and you can click contact us, and I will send it to you, or you can DM us and I will send it to you, because you need to go through them. It prepares you for leaving. And when your mind's all over the place, your emotions are all over the place, your head's all over the place, these are not things that you're thinking about. So these are things that John and I, separately went through this trauma, wrote down things that really stumped us, that screwed us, that if we had 20/20 vision, if we had hindsight, this is what we'd have done. That is what we wrote down. That's what all of this, all the resources we have are things that either we did that saved us, or we didn't do and we should have. And now we know better. And there's no reason for you to make those same mistakes. So using our resources, taking our free masterclass, DMing us, setting up calls with us, coaching calls, are things that the two of us went through separately before we even met each other. And we were able to heal from it, and then actually meet and combine our stories to help anybody that needs help, and we want to share this with you. So.
Yeah, let me truth be told, said I'm divorcing my narcissist husband after 18 and a half years. It's so devastating. We totally understand. Yeah. So glad you're here. I want to get with this question, Stephanie. This is great. Good question. Melissa is an expert at this type of thing. My husband is horrible, and I really need to leave. He will not go over a separation agreement. What can we tell Stephanie about that? That he will not go over a separation agreement?
Well, it depends on what state you're in. There are certain states that require you to be separated for a year. North Carolina is one of them. There's a few others. Most states don't require that. Most states just require that you actually you file for divorce. If he won't agree to a separation, you may need to go back to your attorney and say, well, we need to move forward with something else, mediation, an actual trial date, because somebody can only refuse to go through with divorce procedures for so long. They can't refuse forever. They can't just say, I am never going to divorce you and you are always going to be married to me, unless you let them do that to you. So finding an attorney who understands narcissistic abuse. I know many of you have been on here before and you've heard us talk about Rebecca Zung, Rebecca Zung, Z-U-N-G. She is an attorney, the number one attorney in the United States, who deals with narcissistic exes. Her program's called SLAY, S-L-A-Y, and she offers tons and tons of free content, free resources, And we have her free pre-divorce worksheet, our workbook. If you need a copy of it, DM us. We will send it to you. It lets you prepare for what to expect and how to interview for an attorney who understands narcissism. Because if they don't, mine didn't. Do you know how long my divorce drug out for? Almost 3 years. Do you know how much money it cost me? I could have probably paid off my mortgage on the house John and I live in if I didn't have to spend all that money, because he knew how to toy with the system. He knew how to drag it out. It didn't matter how many contempt orders were filed against him. He knew what to do, and my attorney was falling for it. So finding an attorney that understands how to deal with a narcissist is critical.
Stephanie says she lives in South Carolina. So
South Carolina.
Yeah. So Stephanie, DM us if you would. Just send us a direct message, and we'll see what we can do. Melissa's an expert at helping people with these types of things. She really, really is. You can ask Maria, who I think is still on here.
She is.
Maria has been a one-on-one client with Melissa for a while now, a couple of months now, right, Maria? And it is really going favorably for Maria in this process now because of the things that Melissa has been able to help her with. So, Stephanie, if you need help with that, please set up a one-on-one call with Melissa. It will be so worth it. I can't tell you that.
Georgia doesn't have a separation period, and I'm just going to tell you that because we are in Georgia. The only thing in Georgia is that you have to have a mediation before you actually go in front of a judge. But there is no length of separation. There is just a period of time where like mine piecemeal text message together. I mean, it was all fraudulent, where he tried to say we reconsummated our marriage, which was a complete lie. It was because he had a tracker on my car, and the only thing that saved me was my car was in my garage when I was on a business trip in another state, and he thought I was in town. So he basically concocted the story that we had rendezvoused or whatever, and thank God I could prove that I was in another state, because he was trying to dismiss the divorce altogether. You only have to be away from them for like a day in the state of Georgia. Some other states are not that easy. And Georgia, depending on the reason you're filing, I filed for cruel treatment and I was able to prove it, but I had 3 restraining orders before we even went to court.
Let's talk about this real quick. Our 12 critical steps before you leave. Truth Be Told says, I'm in Cherokee County, which is where Melissa was when this whole thing started. So I want to plan accordingly. Please DM us so we can send you our 12 critical steps before you leave, so you can get everything set up properly so that you are in control when you leave. So please DM us. I'm not sure. It just says Truth Be Told. I'm not sure what your name is, but please DM us. We'll send you our 12 critical steps to take before you leave. And it's a really good process because, anytime you're focusing on something that's a process, you can kind of get your mind right. And so these 12 critical steps are so important. Setting up an emergency fund, all of these different things that are included in this. But we'd love to send that to you.
And I'd absolutely.
And anyone else who needs that.
Yes, definitely. Because you need to take some precautionary steps before you actually, drop the bomb on them. I dropped the bomb on mine in a fit of rage. I mean, I just couldn't take it anymore, and it was the worst thing that I could do, because then he knew my plan. He knew what I was trying to do, and so he was always one step ahead of me, and I was always trying to do damage control. Oh my God, this, that, and the other. So the 12 critical steps will help you freezing your credit, understanding the joint assets, a lot of things that you probably are not thinking about. Definitely DM us. I will send that to you. We'll send it to anybody that needs.
Yeah, Crystal just said she needs it. Maria needs the 12 steps. And I know, Maria, you're working with Melissa, so I know that you guys have covered a lot of that.
Yep. Yes, please DM us. We'll send it to anybody that needs it. God, there was one thing
and this person, One Life, says, how do I prove I didn't comprehend the prenup at time of signing and signed under duress?
Okay, I've helped several people with the prenup, and I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to say I'm a lawyer. I feel like I am because I've done enough research about it. But prenups can be invalidated by a judge, okay? So It just depends. If you were under duress to sign it, like if it was weeks within the wedding and boom, they dropped it on you, or if they forced you to use their attorney, if they said, oh, let's just use the same attorney, you know, it'll make things cheaper. You can't use the same attorney on a prenup. You should have had your own attorney. They have their attorney. So if you use the same attorney, that is a complete reason for being able to invalidate that prenup. Also, if the prenup leaves you destitute, leaves you financially destitute, where you are not able to support yourself, depending on how long you've been married, judges don't like that. They can absolutely invalidate all or a portion of the prenup. So don't be bullied. I had a client who was married to a very well-known person in a state. And they had a prenup, and literally the day before their 10th anniversary, he decides he wants a divorce. And he pulls the prenup, and, you know, you're not going to get this, you're not going to get that. And he starts bullying her on, if you don't agree to the divorce, then your car is going to get repossessed. You're going to be kicked out of the apartment. All of these things. So he was literally using it as blackmail, extortion, everything. And once we went through her prenup, we realized he forced her to use the same attorney. It happened 2 weeks before their wedding. And she was so afraid of the bullying that he was done and the fact that he was this somebody in this big town. And so I said, we're going to hire a lawyer for you out of that town, so he can't buy that lawyer. And it ended up that entire prenup was completely invalidated by the judge because it was under duress, and he was blackmailing her and pushing her and forcing her into signing something because she was so desperate for money. She took care of their kids. She didn't have a job. She was the homemaker, and she was the homemaker for 10 years. So, but they will do that. They will bully you. They will tell you, you can't use the funds. The judge is going to be mad at you. If you're married, those funds are joint. They're your funds too. It doesn't matter whose name it's in. And a prenup, it just depends. A judge can actually invalidate the whole thing.
I'm getting several questions from One Life, and I totally understand. She keeps asking about if the life insurance she didn't disclose would be fraud. Can you recommend a lawyer? You know, we can't get into all the legal stuff because we're not attorneys. We're great at helping people through the process, especially, but not on this. We don't want to give any bad information. Melissa always researches before her calls and makes sure that we're giving good advice depending on what state you're in. But you really need to check with Rebecca Zung. And she's in Florida, so she can only represent you if she's in Florida. However, there are recommendations that can be made for attorneys that are outside the state of Florida, whatever state that you may be in. But like Melissa said, go to her website, get her packet, and make sure that you're interviewing your attorney correctly so that you know that they know how to fight a narcissist, because that's critical.
And if you contact us, I have no problem helping you with that research and going through it. I've done it for tons of our clients, and just helping them with that research, because it is definitely critical that whoever you hire understands what they're dealing with. My ex-narc went through 4 attorneys that he lied to. The first 3 were women, and the first 2 decided to divorce him. Basically, once he wasn't paying, he was lying. I mean, I was able to come back and prove he was lying. And then he ended up with a man who he told the man that I literally, because I was the breadwinner, I was the one that had the assets, the money, the house, everything. And he told his lawyer that I had tired of him and that he wasn't successful enough for me, and he was holding me back, and therefore I just wanted to discard him, which was complete BS. But that's what he told his lawyer, and unfortunately his lawyer believed him. And my lawyer, I literally coached through the whole thing, and his lawyer was made to look like a complete idiot because he didn't do any research on his own. So finding somebody that's got your back and understands the tactics of a narcissist is critical, and I can help you.
I've got some people that are saying they don't have enough money, or their ex have ruined their credit, and they can't. So what do people that don't have money, what would they need to do in this case? Since it is civil,
you can go to, every state has a legal society that helps people that don't have money to pay. And these are lawyers that it's not like they don't understand the law, and a lot of lawyers do pro bono work. But the one thing that you want to do is make sure, because if your narc has all the money, then the first thing your lawyer wants to do is say they're the ones that's going to pay for the attorney fees.
Yes.
Because they have stripped you of any financial wherewithal for you to be able to protect yourself. And they'll bully you. They will say, you're not going to do it. You're not going to get the money. I'm not going to pay. But doing the research, going to the legal society that offers free legal assistance, advice, representation, and then that person, that attorney can actually go and say, you know what? That party, the ex, the soon-to-be ex, has all the money. So we're going to petition the court to have them pay for the attorney fees. The problem is that the narcissist doesn't allow the victim to have any of this knowledge. All they do is bully. They bully, they threaten, and you're left with whatever they decide to give you. And that is so wrong. And that's a lot of what this channel's all about, is you have other choices. You really do. And there are attorneys that will do pro bono, and there are legal societies in every single state that will provide you legal representation because of your lack of income. So don't ever think that you can't find somebody to represent you, because they will represent you, and then they will actually go after your narcissist for repayment of legal fees.
Okay. We've got so many people that are struggling right now with this, not having the money. But like Melissa said, if they're controlling all the money, the first thing an attorney will do is make sure that they're going to get their fees from your marital assets, and can do an emergency order to make sure that that money is, because that the money is yours too. I mean, if it's marital funds, it is your money too. You have to remember that. That's something that financial abuse people aren't aware of. We've helped so many people, and I know you have too. You've got so many clients that they're like, I don't have any money. My husband has all the money. It's like, well, that's your money too. You have to understand that. And so attorneys, if they know that there's money that can be had, will represent you. So please make sure that you're not like saying, I don't have any money to pay an attorney. Well, there's marital assets there that can be had for this. So please check into that more, or get with Melissa for more help on that.
And Dawn, Florida, I believe, is a community property state, so you are entitled to 50% of everything. Rebecca Zung is in Florida, and she is somebody that could recommend someone to you that could represent you pro bono, or with the understanding that they're going to go to your soon-to-be ex to collect the fees. So Florida community property, you're entitled to half of everything he has.
Let's make sure.
He or she.
Yeah.
It does, if you're married.
Men can be financially abused too. Believe me.
Yeah.
That this is not just for
yes.
This is for men and women.
And we have male clients that John has dealt with that have been financially and physically abused. But Florida is a community property state. So definitely check out RebeccaZung.com and check out her program. They're all free. I mean, all of her advice, everything. If you DM me, I will help you with the research, and we can kind of tackle this together. So it's not fair.
Yeah, this sounds kind of like a little BS. I'm sorry. A reap. Even if they have a prenup saying that they won't pay for the legal fees. I don't know how that could be legal. How a prenup says if you get a divorce, they're not going to pay for attorney's fees. So anyway.
Well, and you prenups, they're all individual. But like I said, a judge can override any prenup. It doesn't matter. So a prenup could God knows say what. But if there's just cause, and a judge can actually invalidate a portion of it, invalidate all of it. It just depends on the circumstances surrounding it. But one of the things that I've read in just about every state is a prenup can't leave one party destitute. It may not guarantee the lifestyle that you're accustomed to, but it can't literally kick you out in the street and make you homeless. A judge can't override that part of it, especially if you were raising the kids, you were a homemaker, you were not the one that worked because of these things, or because of even they wanted you not to work. I mean, one of our clients, he wanted her to be available to go on all these events with him and all these dinners with him. And I had her go back and gather every single thing. She had pictures, photos, events, news clippings, and it showed she was right there every step of the way supporting him in all different countries and states. And so a judge ruled that just because she didn't have a job didn't mean she wasn't contributing to that marriage. So anyway.
I'm trying to respond to these as fast as possible, but it's been a while, folks, so I'm sorry.
John's trying to read really fast.
I'm trying to type really fast, and it's but anyway.
Sorry, we are trying to read.
Yeah,
we're trying to read together.
Yep.
Can you be my mom?
Yeah.
Well, I do have one son, 32, and we have 3 grandkids. Yeah, 3 grandkids. So I'm not sure.
Well, look, truth be told, another question. I'm the breadwinner, and I'm concerned I will have to pay alimony. That was the same thing Melissa went through. So,
okay. First thing, not to say you won't have to pay it, but if you can prove that they're a cheater, that they've committed adultery, then you don't have to pay. You do have to be able to prove it. And so recording things, getting a private investigator, I mean, you're the breadwinner, you have the money. So if there's any, if you believe that they're cheating or they've committed adultery, that's one of the reasons that nullifies the you having to pay alimony. But like I said, you do have to prove it. Getting cell phone bills. I mean, we do have a company that will do a background check. I mean, I've looked up phone bills for people, sex lines, all these other crazy things, to try to prove that the spouse was, unfaithful. And that's the one way to get out of alimony.
This is from Dina. My husband said we haven't been married for years. So if I want a divorce, I can go pay for it. That sounds like something that a narcissist would say.
Yeah.
That they are smarter than everybody else, that they haven't been married for. I was only married for 6 months. We were together for 5 years before we got married, and I was only married for 6 months. So it doesn't matter how long you've been married, you're legally married. So I don't know why he's saying what he's saying, Dina, but I really think you need to get some legal advice on that to see where you actually stand legally and what state you're in. Well, I'm sorry to laugh at that because we went through so much with Melissa's ex and all the different attorneys he went through and how long it took. It's almost triggering when we hear questions like that because that is a narcissist. That's what they would say. Yeah. That is a complete lie, though.
Well, and just as someone said about cheating, they don't care. Honestly, the grounds for divorce, if it's cheating, they don't care. I mean, someone could cheat on you all day long and a state doesn't care. They do not care that they cheated on you. It is grounds for divorce. However, it is grounds that nullify alimony. And that's the only thing we were saying is you think that because someone cheated on you that you should get more of the assets or whatever. It has nothing to do with it. It depends on the state. It depends on the judge. It depends on what you can prove in your case. The only thing that cheating does is if you can prove it, it eliminates alimony. And that was something that my ex was trying to get from me was alimony. Mm-hmm. And I had to prove that he did all kind of crazy things among cruel treatment, abuse, all of this other thing. So I didn't have to pay alimony. That's what he was wanting. Grounds for divorce, it doesn't matter. I mean, if someone's cheating on you, if you're cheating on them, it doesn't matter. Alimony is the only thing we're talking about as far as cheating.
Hey, listen, I want to repeat this. I've got several questions. People are like, how do I DM you? If you're not following us yet, our channel is Victim to Warrior.
V2W.
V2W or Victim to Warrior, either way. go to our channel and just send us a direct message with any questions or if you need information. But better than that, just please follow us while you're there. We put out new series every single week, and this week's series is going to be on trauma bonding. And so you can kind of understand what it looks like across the board and how to recover from it if you're still struggling. So we really try to put out great content. So if you're not following us, please do. Again, Victim to Warrior. Also check out our link tree. Below our profile, you'll see our link tree. Click on that. We've got all sorts of great resources there for you guys. Our free masterclass, it's about an hour long, and it really covers so many great things. Our financial series, if you're in financial abuse, our one-on-one calls are there. Our Facebook group is there, and our newsletters. So there's just great things. We have an ebook on there as well to help you if you need that. So please check those out. And if you have any questions, please just DM us and we'll get you whatever information we can. I hope that helped One Life. I know she needs it. And I think Dina also, please DM us.
My narcissist found a new supply, so he's ready to divorce. Okay, truth be told, good. Honestly, that's good. That is actually good for you because you have some leverage there. So if he's found a new supply, which they always do, don't take offense to it because we were their new supply. When whoever they left before us, that they put through horrific misery, we became the new supply. We were the ones they flaunted in front of the old supply's face, just like the new supply they're going to flaunt in front of your face. It hurts. Oh my God, does it hurt? But the bottom line is you're not that supply anymore. You're the free person. You're trying to pick up your pieces. You're trying to pick up your life and move forward. So the fact that he's got a new supply or she's got a new supply is a good thing because that means they're more inclined to agree to terms of the divorce. So depending on what state you are, in Georgia, we had to have a mediator before we went in front of a judge. So you had to try to mediate things to try to save some money. Mediating with a narcissist is almost impossible depending on whether they want something from you or they don't want to give you something that you're rightfully owed. So honestly, mediation with a narcissist is generally unsuccessful. And I hate to say that, but I don't know. I haven't talked to one person so far, and we have a lot of clients that have had a successful mediation where you can completely agree to everything and save money. Normally, they either don't want to pay what you're owed, what you're legally, you're legally obligated to pay them, to pay you, or you don't want to pay them and they won't accept it. And that's what was in my situation.
Let's talk about this. We've talked about the 12 critical steps. One of the most important things, I know Dina said her husband's cheating on her and she's so upset about it. You need to be documenting all these things. Photos, recordings,
follow them.
Bank accounts. I mean, everything that you can do this as you're preparing to leave. The most important thing is you got to understand, you got to take the emotion out of it right now and start preparing properly. And that means recording conversations, saving text messages, pictures, video, documentation of the cheating or the Facebook other accounts they have, bank accounts that you don't have access to, whatever those things are. Make sure that you're following those 12 critical steps. It'll just really help you outline and get everything prepared so that when you do leave, you're in a much, much better situation than just leaving emotionally.
And that's the hardest thing for people is to remove their heart from the situation, because your brain is what's thinking. But when your brain is forgetting pain, then that is a bad thing, because your heart follows your brain, because your brain is in charge of your actions. And so being able to, thank you for that, being able to document things, record things, and this is civil. So we're not talking about a criminal scenario here. When you document something that a conversation or whatever, this is something you can give to your lawyer as evidence. But and I know sometimes hiring a private investigator is almost impossible. So finding a lawyer that can do pro bono, or that's with the legal society in your state, or that you can tell the lawyer, this is what my soon-to-be ex has in assets. I need you to subpoena the banks or whatever, and we need to put in the divorce decree that he pays you. They sometimes can actually hire the private investigator, especially if it has to do with alimony. The cheater is the one that doesn't get the alimony. The cheater is the one that can pay the alimony. So especially if you are not the breadwinner, or they make a ton more money than you, or if you've been married a set amount of years in a certain state, you're not only entitled to their alimony, but pension, 401k, Social Security, all of these things that they're telling you or not telling you that you're entitled to, you absolutely could be legally entitled to, depending on what state you're in. So you want to uncover those rocks. You want to do that investigation, and that's what those critical steps are for. So definitely DM us, and we will give you a copy of it.
Somebody is kind enough to say you look like Lori from Shark Tank.
I don't know who Lori from Shark Tank is, but hopefully that's not an insult.
Maria says we look so nice and tan after a few days away, and rested too, Maria. Don't forget that. Thank you
for that. We did. We drank a lot of margarita. Well, I actually drank a lot of margaritas. John is the more disciplined person. He really is. I mean, we did go on 3-mile walks on the beach. Of course, I would stop halfway and go seashell hunting. But I would make it part of the way. I would. But anyway, so we did have a few days of rest or relaxation. I will tell you this. When you're in Mexico, Halloween is not Halloween. It's the day after Halloween. It's called the Day of the Dead. And we did not realize that this was a celebration in graveyards. Celebrating the dead, the Day of the Dead. They go into the graveyards with their tequila, their bourbon, or whatever, their loved one, and they would party in the graveyard. It kind of freaked us out a little bit. So anyway, we didn't understand, but we did drink a lot.
Yeah, but we had fun.
Yeah, we had fun. We did.
So thank you for that, though. We were getting so many great comments. I appreciate all of these from you all.
Yes, Day of the Dead is November. Yeah,
yep, November 1st and 2nd.
Yep. We thought it was October 31st, and we were like, what? Where is everybody? And then we realized what it was. It was a little frightening.
Not a great grandmother. It's great. She says, amazing for being a great grandmother. Just a grandmother, okay?
I'm a Gigi. Yeah. I'm a Gigi.
No grandmother. We don't use the G word in the house.
No. John would not allow me to be a grandmother. So I'm a Gigi, and he's a Popeye. And we have 3 beautiful grandkids. We do. So we love them. One of our grandkids only turned 1 month old, on November 3rd. So he's little, teeny tiny baby, only 1 month old. And then we have a 3.5-year-old and a 12-year-old. So we love them. But anyway.
Yeah.
It keeps shutting down. Is our internet messing up?
Yeah, it's kind of frozen up right now, babe. Hey guys, we're so sorry here, and God, we can't get off now. We got too many people here.
No, we're gonna stick it out, and we've literally it's super cloudy here, so we don't know if that's the cause of it. But we've turned off every single thing in our house as far as our internet. So hopefully it'll.
Yeah, please be. It's probably not us, but something's going on. Like I said, but please bear with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. Congrats.
Yes, we love him.
Maria says, "Don't know, maybe mine." It's probably yours, Maria.
Maria, you're probably causing this, Miss Maria.
Yeah, but we love Maria. We really, really
love
do.
Maria.
Yeah, she's
love
awesome.
her. She's awesome.
So grateful that she's our client. We have so many great clients that they're doing one-on-one calls with Melissa that have really been life-changing. Maria, I know. That you've gotten so much great advice from Melissa, and I know there's other people here that have as well, and I just love that. Maria was not in a great place when she first met us.
No,
and
no.
I just read a testimonial from one of our male clients. We have a lot of male clients too. And if you haven't been to our TikTok page yet, or it is just was launched yet, posted, I'm sorry, on Friday, I read a testimonial from one of our male clients. So please check that out too. So we do, there are a lot of men that are dealing with this too. I dealt with it. And you know what? It happens to all of us, guys.
And honestly, it's sad because women narcissists will target strong males with money, obviously looks. I mean, they will, but they will use their sexuality, their chemistry, their charisma to basically target someone. And what guy doesn't want to be, you know, fawned on by a beautiful woman, somebody that's sexy, charismatic, and then all of a sudden, you know, they're all over you. Men, you know, they're kind of more physical than women. I mean, we might be physical, but they are more physical, and they will fall for that. And that is the first thing that a covert or a regular narcissist will use, is that physical chemistry. It's over the top. It's like out of the world. And it's very difficult for a man to separate all of that when things start going bad. It takes a while for them to go, man, this whatever this good thing was is going bad really fast. And the bad is superseding the good. And generally by then, you're all intertwined with this person. You're either married to them, or you have a baby with them, or you're living with them. And it makes it very, very difficult to leave. And a lot of times, these type of narcissists will fake injuries. If you're trying to leave, you're trying to get out of it, like John's, you know, fake being strangled, and one of our clients fake being strangled. That is very serious. I mean, that could end someone's career. That could end someone's freedom, especially when it's a lie. And so when you start, guys, especially when you start getting into situations like this, it's better to record, to document, to call someone, regardless of how you feel, because they can actually destroy your life. They really can. And we would hate that to happen to anyone here.
Yeah. Hey, Narchammer just showed up. Great to see Narchammer. It's been a while, so glad you're here.
Are you the one that went on the date? Is he the one that went on the date?
No.
Okay. Who was that went on the date? Maybe maybe things are working out. I don't know if he's been back to our channel.
No, I haven't seen him, so hopefully that's working out really well. He was down in Florida. I do remember that.
That would be good.
All right. Hey guys, it's been about an hour. Is there anybody else that has something that's really important that we want to get to before we end up? You know, this has been a great hour. It really has. If you haven't had a chance yet,
and it's so good to see you guys again.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance yet, would you please like this live? We really appreciate it. That would really help us out. I've already answered that guy's question. He said he caught his wife in a coworker's house on Halloween. She got mad and said she wanted a divorce, and she's a covert narc. I said it probably sounds like it's a good thing that kind of
happened. And hopefully that's something you can document where you're not the one, you know, having to pay things that you shouldn't have to pay. But anyway.
Love you both. Maria says, love you both. Thank you so much. And I want to say something that Maria did say earlier about her calls. She said, you set me on the correct path and found other avenues I didn't even think to explore. We need you. Maria, thank you so much for that comment. And I just know that Melissa looks so forward to your calls.
I do. I love you, girl.
Yeah.
I mean, we really invest in our clients. I mean, we are friends with a lot of our clients. I mean, really,
and we're getting this comment from Lola. I don't even know who you are. She says, you don't do anything to help people. How do you even know I don't even think
Yeah,
you've ever
Lola.
been here before.
Yeah. You have no idea.
Thank you for commenting that you don't think we help people. I don't know how you think that. Maybe you've never been in a situation like we have.
Well, apparently not. And you know what, Lola? Hey, you have your own opinions, but maybe you need to go to somebody else's channel. So, yeah. The people that we help and we like and we love are on this channel, and there's 40,000 of them. So
now I'm sorry, Lola. You're not. I'm gonna have to block you. She's getting nasty. So
Lola, nasty language.
Nasty stuff.
Yeah,
we laugh at people like
we
that.
We really do
like,
because normally when we go to their channels, they have like 3 followers, but that's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
So let's go back here real quick. Jesse says. Jesse +4, I guess that means she has 4 kids. My narc has severe silent treatment and avoidant issues. Any help?
Gosh, yeah. Those are narcissistic punishments. They really are. And a normal person can't handle that. I mean, we want to talk things out. We want to deal with it. We want to get the facts out. A narcissist, because they don't feel anything, they have no emotion, they can do the silent treatment. They could be silent for weeks. And that's the sad part. And you're sitting here, you're losing it. I mean, you're breaking down, this wall, this pissed off wall you have is breaking down. And the next thing you know is you're begging them to speak to you when they're the ones that did something wrong. Honestly, until you realize that and accept it and basically start your exit strategy, it won't stop. They literally can go way beyond you as far as no communication, ignoring you, silent treatment. You're a normal person. You need interaction. You need communication. You need to be able to work through your problems. But a narcissist doesn't. They don't need any of that. So they will definitely... They will go far longer than you could ever possibly think of going. So until you accept the fact that the only way out of this is to plan your exit strategy. And that's what the 12 critical steps are. That's what we created them for. So DM us, we'll give them to you because there's no good way out of that. There's no corrective action. There's no therapy. There's nothing you can do to fix them, to fix the relationship. If you're with a narcissist, if you're with a true narcissist, there's no fixing it.
Yeah, and Jessie says she has a master's in psych, and she keeps trying to treat him. Yeah. You're wasting.
Well, and that's the biggest probably upsetting point in these people is because they don't think they have any problems, so they don't seek help unless they're forced to by the courts or drug treatment or whatever. They don't seek treatment, so then it's very difficult to diagnose them. Narcissists have this superiority complex. They don't think they're wrong. They don't think they need help. They think everybody around them are the ones that need help, are the ones that have problems, are the ones that are creating the issues. And so they, at no point in time are they going to seek help for them. It's extremely, extremely rare. And you probably know that. And for all of us that went through therapy with our narcissist thinking that we could fix it, that we could, it's couples counseling, couples therapy, we learned the hard way that all they do is lie. They get us so upset during counseling that we look like the insane person because we're like, what? Are you kidding me? And we're, that's not true. And so we do look crazy. We absolutely look crazy because they're like, see? And so they're literally looking at us like we are the nutbags. And we're acting like nutbags, but it's only because they can be so calm during this session because they're not going to admit anything. They don't think they have anything to admit. They don't think they have anything to fix. They're only doing it because we've given them an ultimatum. They think they're going to lose their... In my case, he thought he was going to lose his money bags. I was the one making the money. So he only agreed to go because he thought I was going to cut him off financially by divorcing him. So he was placating me. But he also made me look like the nutbag.
Hey, I got the Yellow Rose says, how do I know if I'm a narcissist? She's probably with...
Oh, we need to send her the traits.
Please DM us, Yellow Rose, and we'll send you the 12 traits of a narcissist. you may be being called a narcissist in your relationship, which is a tactic. So let's go, please DM us so we can send you this. It's the 12 characteristics. You can go through it, kind of quizzes you, and then you can find out who the narcissist in your relationship really is. Because again, it can be a tactic if you are being called a narcissist. So.
Well, and generally a narcissist will call their partner a narcissist. Because you'll start questioning their behavior. You'll start questioning, you know, why they want to know where you are every second of the day. But when you ask where they are, you're controlling, you're jealous, you're insecure. It's such a combative thing going back and forth. But the 12 common traits of narcissism is a questionnaire. And you can go through it, ask yourself these questions, and determine who in the relationship is actually the narcissist. If you're worried and you care, I almost can promise you you're not.
Yeah,
the narcissist.
and we have
that's one of the big signs of not being a narcissist, because narcissists don't care what you think. They don't care if you think they're a narcissist.
Jody,
if you care.
Jody had a great response. If you wonder if you're a narcissist, then you probably aren't.
Correct.
Yeah, thanks for chiming in on that, Jody.
And it's so true, because that means you're concerned. That means you're concerned. Am I treating people wrong? Am I treating people poorly? That means you care. You care about people. You have empathy. You have sympathy. Narcissists don't. They can't do it. They just can't. So that's why they never admit they're a narcissist, because they're like, why would I admit I'm something when you're the one with the problem, you're the one with the issues. You need to seek help. You need to get somebody to treat you. You need to go to therapy. Not me, because they will absolutely not admit that they have anything wrong. And that was what was so, I guess, alarming to me when we went to therapy, because I was at my wit's end. I was like, I want a divorce. I can't take it. I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong with you. You're evil. You're doing all these things to sabotage our relationship. So he agreed to go to therapy. And I had hope. I was like, okay, we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out. We're going to be able to determine whether or not our marriage is worth saving. But he lied the entire time, because I was like, well, he's a recovering alcoholic and he's relapsed. And then he was like, you know what? She's the one that's drinking. She's the one that's got a drinking problem. She just assumes I'm drinking because she's drunk all the time. And I'm like, I'm not drunk all the time. What are you talking? So I looked guilty. I really did. I looked like I was guilty of something. And so the therapist, for a while, actually thought I was the one that had the problem. Until finally, the more personal questions she asked him, the more he couldn't respond, the more she started putting things together. And then she started asking me pointed questions about the relationship. And then after a certain point in time, she basically said, she called me and she goes, I can't see the two of you together anymore. I can't have you as clients anymore. And then she called me and she goes, I can have you as a client. I just can't have you together as a client. And so I kept going to her, and she's the one that said, I believe you're with a narcissist and this is why. And so those 12 traits are something that she gave me, and I still use to this day for our clients. So anyway,
we just got to go dogs.
Hell yeah!
Yes, go dogs.
Hopefully we're rated #1 now, and whatever.
Okay, Meg asked, how long were you with this narcissist? Go ahead, babe. You go ahead and tell yours.
Well, we knew each other. We met in divorce recovery in our church. I was married to, my first husband, devastated. We'd been married for a really long time. He ended up having an affair. He was not a narcissist. He just went through a midlife crisis, I guess. But I was absolutely devastated. So I joined a divorce recovery group at my church because I thought I could deal with it. I thought I could get through it, and I couldn't. I couldn't get past it. I was just, I was in a funk.
Did you hear that?
What?
Her narcissist met her at a divorce recovery group at church, and he was still married.
He was still married.
With kids.
And he had kids. But his wife wanted a divorce, so he thought he was losing that supply. So he joined a divorce recovery group when he was still married. I did not know that, of course. But when you're in a therapy group or a recovery group, you vomit your situation. So he knew I owned my own house. He knew I sold a company. He knew I had money that I worked for my entire life for. He knew everything about it. So he mirrored what I wanted. He basically said he was cheated on. His wife cheated on him. She absolutely had not cheated on him, but I didn't know that. So he basically was becoming the same victim that I thought I was. So all of a sudden there was this connection. And he understood me and he knew what I was going through. All of it was a freaking lie. So I knew him for a year. I dated him for a year. I was engaged to him for a year. And then 6 months after we got married, mask came off. And then all of a sudden he was like, I want to start day trading. I need you to invest this money in my company. We're married now, so if you care about me, you'll invest this money into my company, and I'm going to day trade and make us $1 million or whatever. Let me just tell you, everything I invested in this company, I lost. It's like he set the money on fire. He didn't have a legitimate company. He was into weird stuff. He was into drugs. He was into all kind of crazy things. I did not realize it. I was an executive. I had a hell of a hard job. I was working 90 hours a week. A lot of it went past me, and shame on me. But I didn't realize it. And so I was pretty much blinded by it. But it happened very quick after we got married. And so he played me those 3 years.
Yeah, and
then immediately... And then the getting away from him was another. It took me more than that time to get away from him.
Right. That's the hardest thing, knowing that we fell for all those red flags. I did. That was the hardest thing I had in my recovery, was forgiving myself from falling for that. I'm like, Dad, I'm smarter than that. How did I fall for all those things? They are the master manipulators. And Melissa fell for them. I fell for them. And once we realize what we're dealing with, that's when we really have to understand there's really no other options than to move on. They're not ever going to be that person that we first met, because that wasn't the real person. So I know Melissa and I both had difficulties when we were first recovering, just because we felt like we had been duped, and it was hard to move past that. I had so much regret for that during that early process. But that's why we created that 5-step recovery process, that if you're struggling with your recovery and forgiving yourself, these 5 steps can really, really help you. So be sure that you are taking part of that, because we both use those to recover, and we're able to do so. So I hope that helps.
Well, and using the 12 common characteristics of a narcissist will definitely...
Good night, Jason. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Jason. We'll definitely let you know if you're being accused of being the narcissist. Just read through them. Just being concerned about being the narcissist probably answers your question right there, because otherwise you wouldn't give a shit. You would not care. So anyway, all right, babe.
Yeah, I think I think that's kind of it, guys. I've got my little dog over here. It's past his time to go out, and he's been letting me know that. So,
time. But we'll be back on Wednesday
real quick,
for Wind
before
Down
we sign
Wednesday.
off, guys, because we have so many people still here. Please check out our resources. We've created these all for you, no matter where you are in your struggle. You're planning to leave, we have our 12 critical steps, so DM us for those.
Please. If
you are in the process of leaving but need some help, one-on-one calls with Melissa or myself can be so helpful. Our masterclass is really, really well.
It's free.
And it's free. If you're in the process of recovering and you just are struggling with that, that's great. The masterclass is really good for that. Join our Facebook group, please.
Go to our link tree on our regular channel, right below our photo, link tree, click it. You can join our Facebook group, because you can't find it anywhere else. We'd love to have you. love to have you. But it's the worst thing that you can go through is feeling isolated and alone and like nobody understands, nobody cares. You can't tell anyone about it. That is the worst place to be if you're in this situation, and we don't want you to be there.
Yes, let's talk about it. Several
there.
people are asking about our next lives. We do lives twice a week,
Yeah.
so please be there for us, with us. Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m.
Wind down Wednesday.
Well, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we go for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we really try to cover a certain topic, but please bring any of your questions or whatever you're struggling with. And then, of course, we always do Sunday nights at 6 p.m. So we try to do them twice a week. Please DM us if you need anything. Please follow us. Please check out our Instagram and our YouTube. We've got some great videos on our YouTube channel. It's called Victim to Warrior also on YouTube. And we're able to do longer videos there that can really help you. And if you're struggling financially, please check out our financial series. If you click on that below, you'll be able to see our 3.5-minute trailer that really lets you know all that's included with it. And so we'd love for you to check that if you're struggling financially with financial abuse.
Well, and if you're struggling financially, that makes it almost impossible to leave, especially if little by little your abuser has taken control of the money. And that's a lot of what we hear when we talk to our clients is they don't have money because the abuser has literally taken control of everything. And that makes it very, very difficult. So this financial series kind of tells you how to set up an emergency fund, how to do it in ways that are not obvious, where you can actually start putting some money aside, especially if you want to leave. You have to be committed to leave in order for this to work. But if that's what you want, then definitely consider. And it's only $7.99. I mean, it's 5 videos. It literally covered the cost.
And all of that
it.
goes to TikTok pretty much anyway.
Yeah. And so we're in the hole. It covered our production, and then we got to pay TikTok. So anyway, but it at least lets you know what you need to do to set yourself up to leave. And once you leave, how to recover financially. So you don't have to ever go back. So many people that we talk to leave, like it's so bad, they just leave. And then they get out and they have no money and they don't know their rights, and their narcissistic partners bullying them. So they end up going back out of sheer desperation. And that's the worst thing because they're expecting that from you. So learning your rights, planning this strategy is so important for you to be able to get to the other side and be able to establish a life or the start of a life that's free from abuse. And that's what we all want. And that's honestly what we've all been through. And John and I made a lot of mistakes in our past relationships, but that's what this program's all about is what did we do that worked? What did we do that didn't work, that we didn't see, and we've documented it so you don't have to make those same mistakes. So that is honestly why.
Yeah, I want to say one thing. We got a message from Shirley from Scotland. I love that.
Oh my gosh.
From Scotland.
That's
Someone's here from
awesome.
St. Croix tonight. We have Canadians here. I just love that we have people from all over. This is not just a local thing. I mean, this is a global thing. When you think about narcissists and they're affecting people all over the planet. So I'm so glad that you all are here tonight. Please follow us if you aren't, because again, we're putting out videos every day, trying to help people, trying to spread awareness and trying to help people because they're struggling right now. They really, really are. So
and sometimes you can't see it, and that's the reason we do our series. These are like personal things that John and I have been through. I journal. I literally have written like 97 books on what this is like. And so when we do our series, it's from either what I went through or what he went through. Sometimes it takes you seeing it to realize, my God, this is my life. They're looking into my life. Because a lot of times you've blocked it out. You don't want to accept it. You're in denial. But the visual helps you look at something and go, holy crap, this is what I go through. I didn't realize this wasn't normal. I felt like it wasn't normal. It felt like it wasn't right. I didn't realize what this is and where this is going. And that's the reason, the visuals, because sometimes it takes seeing it to actually understand it and accept it. And then after that, it's up to you. There's a way out. There's always a way out. It may take longer for some people than others. It may take you longer to accept it. It may take you longer to plan it, but there's always a way out of an abusive relationship. It's just educating yourself, accepting you want your freedom, you want your independence, and you want out of this prison that this person has put you through or put you in. And that's why we're here, to help you.
Yeah, listen, thanks so much.
We appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, we really do.
One of our dogs is now whining.
Yes.
Hopefully they're not going to pee-pee on the floor.
Yes, please be back with us on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep. Wine down Wednesday. Bring your wine.
We'll do this. So, Narchammer, thanks for being here. Narc's been helping out.
He has been awesome. Yes, thank you.
And thank you all so much for all your great questions and being here and staying with us for so long. We're about half an hour over where we typically would be, but there's been so many great questions and so many people that have gotten so helpful. But we've got all these great resources for you. So, listen, she says she's setting up a calendar. So glad that she's going to be back here, Jessie.
I love it.
Please DM us for those 12 critical steps if you need those.
12 traits of narcissism.
And please check out that video on our YouTube channel, Victim to Warrior, called, again, Breaking Free. 5 strategies, powerful strategies to getting your strength and self-esteem back after narcissistic abuse. So you'll want to check out those 5 steps if you are trying to recover and you're struggling. So please check those out and please join our private Facebook group. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, and also stay tuned for our next series on
trauma bonding. Yes,
how to recognize it and how to break free from it. So
8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, we'll see you on Wednesday. And look for.
And the most important thing, we always say, stay safe.
Yes.
Your safety is the most important thing.
It's a priority.
That's why we have law enforcement. If your safety is in jeopardy, please do not hesitate to reach out to your support group or law enforcement.
Yeah.
If your safety is in jeopardy, that's the most important thing, you guys. Is to stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys have a great evening, and hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, we look forward to it. Have a good night, everybody.